Hi, Mark Rogers here. As a busy professional, you're trying to keep all the plates spinning at the same time. So much is going on these days. We hardly have a time to look over our shoulder to see what's overtaking us here. And one thing's for certain, change is always happening. And that's what I'm involved with, is I'm always watching for that change that might impact you. And so that's what I'm here for. And so various ones that I keep close contact with in my client and friends database, I try to reach out and kind of give a heads up here and there. So I certainly welcome that. If you're haven't been doing that with me, reach out, let's chat for 15-20 minutes, and I'll try to keep you on deck in terms of what things are coming down the pike. First off, let's get back to a couple things that we may have addressed here a couple years ago. First off was the LTC tax where is that today in 2024? We took care of that in 2022, and I've had some questions say, hey, Mark, is this really needed, and etc. Hey, I was up in Olympia in January talking with legislators. It's still being reviewed and things like that, but let me give you another piece of advice, or it's basically news, is California and other states are looking at Washington State as a model, and they'll be making some changes. So Washington State was the leader in this type of tax because of this problem going on. And if I've helped you on a long-term care policy, I can assure you this is going to be valuable for the long haul. I did have someone or a couple drop along the way. Well, a couple things I don't know. I don't know if there's auditing that's going to be happening, because the state and the insurance companies need to have everything still on the books to make things work. The state is particularly looking at that. So auditing could be a big deal. And there's a time when someone said, hey, you know what? I'm no longer a W-2. I'm a 1099, to which I say, are we planning for our future, number one? And, is this going to be a recognizable, strong plan that we've got here? Is this going to be very helpful in the future at a very, very low affordable price? But more importantly, number two is if we get audited, are we having to pay back, or what is the repercussions? We don't know. So it's very solid. If you have questions on that, let's go over it. Number two is replacing income while sick. This is a big deal. I'm in my early 50s, and if you're in the 50s as well, or even in your late 40s, you recognize that health is a good thing to have. It's a blessed thing to have. And so with that, there are those that can't make it into work or having to switch jobs, and there's going to be an income drop based upon some kind of health issue that take place. If you have a disability plan through work, great. If you don't have a disability plan through work, maybe we should look at things, because I tell you, that is so affordable to have that constant paycheck coming in when there is a health problem. And you know what? It doesn't have to be all that big to kick that off. So that's a big deal. Secondly, many people have term life insurance policies. Great to have that. But now, as I said, I'm in my 50s. If you're in your 50s, these things are expiring. Get to know those. Let's do a review of that, because many people are finding out that they can't get insured even though they want to have the insurance. Again, that's the income that is needed when you're not here. And people are still wanting this type of coverage all the way into their 60s. Okay, so that is a big deal. I'm just entering that phase, just sharing it with you. Lastly, my promise, claims and service. More importantly, policy review. This last year, I've had 3 long-term care policies go on claim. I've been serving people for almost 20 years. And with a book of business it is, I've written a kind of a younger generation, but now they're coming along and they're getting on claim. I'm happy to say I served during those times. And so going back to the policy review, even if you've got a policy from somewhere else, if we have that conversation, I can put it in my notes. I would love to know about that, because when there is a crisis mode, I've had these questions come at me. Mark, did he have such and such with you? No, I'm sorry. He didn't have such and such with me. Disability, life insurance, whatever, long-term care. No, he didn't. I don't know. He may have got it somewhere else. But if I at least have knowledge of it, then I'm happy to help where I can to get those claims processed, right? So that's a big deal moving forward as well. So I certainly encourage you to get and build up that calendar link down below. Grab 15-20 minutes on my calendar. Let's have a conversation on the phone or on Zoom, and let's just go over it and just do a quick review, whether the policy we set in place together Or you say, hey, you know what, Mark, I have these other policies, great, when they're expiring. These are things to know, because there's a lot of people that go, huh, I didn't think about that, what you're just saying. So anyway, just here to help. So love to reach out, say hi. And there's a few of you too that I have notes from a couple years ago too, that I'll be reaching back out to you. I want to tie those ends up. If there's something to do, something to help with, I'd like to reconvene on those topics. Okay. So Mark Rogers here, always in service. Look forward to chatting. Set that time on the calendar. We'll talk to you soon.